Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm here today because I was asked the question, do I prefer to make mini albums or folios? I don't really have a preference. Really all I can say is depending on how much time I have, or in the case of me moving, how much supplies I have. I typically like the more expensive, heavier paper when I'm making a mini album. In a folio, I can use pretty much any paper that's available to me, any heavy paper that's available to me. So I don't really have a preference. It's just whatever I feel like making. The biggest difference between a folio and a mini album is the hinge system. You can do everything that you do in a mini album, you can do it in a folio, and vice versa. The only difference is that with a mini album, it is typically chipboard covers, and you have a base page that you build upon. So you're going to use one of the popular hinge system, which is Stack the Deck, which was a Laura Dennison from Follow the Paper Trail, or you're going to do the hidden hinge, which is Kathy Orda from Paper Phenomenon, or any of her plus, or the hollow, or whatever her. She has a ton of binding systems, so it's really the difference. For me, I don't typically use any other binding in my mini albums other than Stack the Deck or Hidden Hinge Plus. Hidden Hinge Plus is my favorite. I think this one's just regular Hidden Hinge. But we all have our favorite of which ones you decide to do. But that's it. A folio typically does not have a pocket page. It does have a base page. And all you do is take your paper and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch, and you just attach that in your book. And then you build on that page. In mini albums, you have a pocket page. So you can put stuff on the inside, like a tag, and then you connect it to your binding system. So that's the difference. That's really the only difference, because on a folio, you can have chipboard or not. The same as a mini album, you can do chipboard or not. You're going to have your base pages. Typically on a folio, your base page is not a pocket. It's just a single page. But you are going to have your flips, you're going to have your flaps, you're going to have your intentional pockets, you're going to have your waterfalls. So you're going to have both of that for both your mini and your folio. Typically folios, how they first started off, they were smaller, they were quicker, but now I see, like if you follow Rosa Kelly, she does amazing folios which do so many crazy things, and I think she even has one that's like 12 by 12. So you can go big with your folios. It just takes a little less time and a little less planning than a mini album. A mini album, you have to be mindful of your binding system. You have to be mindful of your score lines. Your folio, obviously you have to be mindful of score lines, but you can just add any old which way and it's not going to matter. So that's the difference between the two. What else is there? There's not really a whole lot. If you go back on my channel, I do have a great series for folios. It's called Beginner Folios. I'll link it down in the description box so you can just kind of watch them. They're just easy. I have a few that are chipboard, a few that are not chipboard. Mini albums, I have a ton of mini albums on my channel. It's really just your preference of what you want to do. If you are a beginner, you haven't watched a lot of YouTube, I would suggest to try a folio first, a simple folio. One of the ones in my beginner series, or someone else's beginning series, because you can make a beautiful folio with little experience. All you have to know how to is just basically score at 1/2 inch. That's what I would suggest. It's kind of like with junk journals. When junk journals came out, it was for people who get frustrated with mini albums. And you're literally throwing whatever junk you have in there, your junk mail, scrap book paper that's been torn up, scrap pieces, pretty magazine pages, calendar pages. You just throw a bunch of junk. There's no rhyme or reason in your junk journal. You're just going for it. It's kind of, a folio is a little more less chaotic junk journal. So yeah, so that's what my discussion was. What are your thoughts between a folio and a mini album? And I know throughout the years I have changed how I cover the book. You know, as you grow and you learn new skills, you do things differently. And then after a while, you just don't care. And you get it done and you don't think about it. And you're not precise anymore. Like you don't care if your seam is in the middle or on the spine, or, you know, it doesn't bother you anymore. I had another thought, but I just forgot. Yeah, so that's what, so in the comments, I want you to put if you prefer a folio or a mini album, or, you know, when you started out, what did you prefer? What do you prefer now? I typically do more folios than minis. Even though I have more time to do them now, I have less paper here. And so the less I have to mat, the better. And I'm not the best at matting. It's not my favorite thing. I love the construction. Like I can make these blank albums all day long, make 10 in a day and be just happy. But if I gotta stop and think and put papers together and stuff like that, that's too much. It's not my favorite part. Matter of fact, I have a project right here. Let me get it out. Sorry for the noise. Where is it? I ordered a kit from Kathy King Paper Phenomenon, and as you can see, the mini album is done. I constructed that a couple of days. It was perfect. I have not matted it because I just don't like matting. Even though I'm going to follow hers exactly to the T, I'm not deviating anything from her design. I just don't like the matting process. Now, I have crafty friends who are the opposite. They do not like the, yes, my power just flickered, it went off. And my light is battery powered. I have an OutLight battery powered light. So anyway, I have friends who do not like the construction part, but they love to mat. So when I first started my page, we used to do that. Like I would construct, they would mat. So if you have a crafty buddy that loves to do one thing and you love to do the other and they live close by, that is the perfect solution. Yeah. So anyway, so in the comments, I want you to write if you prefer the folio and the mini, and if you can think of anything other than the binding system that is the difference between a folio and a mini. Yeah, let me know, because I cannot for the life of me think of anything different other than the binding system, because you're going to have on both sides, you're going to have your flips, your flaps, your waterfalls. You can have pockets. You can have accordion pullouts. You can have all of that in both the mini and the folio. Just the only thing you're not going to have is you're not going to have your stack the deck or your hidden hinge binding system. But everything else you're going to have the same. So, all right, well, that is going to be my little chat, your homework. Tell me if you think of anything else, the difference between a folio and a mini. Also, what is your favorite? And maybe, you know what, if you want, you can tell us, you know, the first folio, the first mini you did, how you felt. The first mini album I did was a Stack the Deck. I don't know if it was Laura's actual or it was Kimmy's. Kimmy's Salty Beach Scrapper, which used to be Fatty Patty Scrappers. I can't remember if, but I know it was with Stack the Deck. And I felt so successful that I made this gorgeous album, and I was able to follow what I was taught, and it was really quick. It was, I think you know what, it had to be Kimmy's because it was a 30-minute easy mini album, and it only took 30 minutes. And so I felt so great about that, and that kind of just started the whole world of mini albums and folios, because when I started off crafting, I was strictly stamping up cards, and then I just kind of morphed into minis and folios, and now cards are my least favorite thing to do. I mean, I'll do it. It's not my favorite. So, but all right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'm looking forward to your answers. Bye.